Stanley, what are you doing, Stanley? Hey, Stanley, what are you doing, Stanley? Are you just Stanleying around? What are you doing, buddy? Come here, Kiki Mama. So, no, I'm not in a mood. Don't bother me. I think you're not to bother me. I'm not in the mood. You missed the sunset, Mom. Man. We're coming up on our year anniversary of living here. In this place. Been here a year at the end of this month. Got the keys on like on the 20th. I started moving, so we were probably, and I was moving slow because I was sad about the cats and. Year went by fast. Time goes by so fast. People don't even realize how fast. I mean, they'll be doing nothing and they realize that, oh my God, I've been doing nothing for years. It's a trip, isn't it? Every moment I'm like trying to embrace it, because tomorrow we don't know what tomorrow brings. Things could be entirely different. It's taken me a lot of years to really come to that practice of being able to just live every day as it comes, especially when there's so many things going on in life that are just freaking scary. And more people, scary stuff happens. It's just more people are scared, and man, I was just listening to Robert Phoenix, and he's like, "We're headed toward the rapids. We're headed toward the rapids." And I'm like, dude, I've been talking. Yeah, we are. I agree with you. It's weird stuff I've seen for years. Like, it's happening now. Like, just the level of disregard for human life. Like, people are just, and then there's people that are like, they were talking on Robert Phoenix's show. They were talking about how all these people are dying of cancers and stuff like that. Like they had cancer before and now it's back with the aggression, and there's the question, is it related to the vaccine, anything having to, everything, when you don't have faith in God, you got, or something outside yourself, when you're just like, you were just taught that you could do whatever you want whenever you want, and consequences be damned, just go around, just live that best life, it don't matter, buy that car, buy that house, fuck that, fuck that chick, doesn't matter if she's 18 years old and you're in your 40s, which is disgusting in my mind. Even though she's legal, it's still fucking gross, because I remember being a 18-year-old girl. I remember being a 16-year-old girl and a renowned heart doctor. I was eating some crab on a cracker, right? And I dropped some and it landed right here. And this dude was like in his 50s and his 60s, and he freaking grabbed it off my boob and ate it. And people were just like, they couldn't believe, I mean, I'm a 16-year-old girl, that was creepy. Nobody freaking defended me, because he's a doctor and he has a lot of money, so I just get to let I'm just like, what do I do? What do I say? I'm at a party in the back of this guy's, in his backyard. He has all of his guests around. And I just was like, whoa. I used to be, a lot of stuff has happened to me in my life that's just been, whoa, like, I can't, did that just happen? Yeah, it just happened. That was weird, Now it's happening to more and more people on the planet, because people just don't have, they're just go around, when you have a population that just goes around and does whatever it wants whenever it feels like, that's a mentality that like gets away from itself. Like, they, in a couple of years, might be drinking drugs, sleeping around. That behavior escalates. I heard stories today about a guy. He's 42 years old. drinks too much. Couldn't even freaking put closet doors on his mom's closet anymore. Because his mind's mush. It's all those years that just, I'm going to drink because I'm a grown adult and I can drink if I want. And I see it all over social media. It's everywhere. Like, you know, like, party, have a good, it's the perpetuation of that behavior. And now so many people, more people are living for themselves than living for, like, everybody. Thinking in a collective consciousness. So that's tilting, and with all this Aries energy, it's tilting a very aggressive time. I had a fucking dipshit today. Oh my god. This shit happens to me all the fucking time. So I'm at the water house and I'm trying to turn left into the fishing spot, and then I do a U-turn, I make a wide U and pull in front. This is how I do it. And there's this dipshit that was pulling out of the ice house and he was looking left. Now, there's a stream of cars coming. It was Sunday morning. And so I was in a break in traffic right now, right? He's not looking at me. I'm looking at his eyes. He's looking left. He's not like looking this. He's not looking left, right, left. No, he's just only looking left. So as soon as this one car came, I started to go, and he looked up, and I couldn't go into where I wanted to. I had to go into the water house. I had to pull the wheel because I knew he was going to do it. I said, I'm going to try and go this way, but I know he's going to look up and be like, oh, because he wasn't fucking paying attention. And so I had to go this way. So when I went by, I gave him a good old douche and pulled into the water thing. Had to go do my awkward, that's why I don't like going in that way, because I got to do a weird turn and back up and stuff. I got my way and dipshit had his, but he fucked everything up. I get out, get my water jug. Oh boy, went down to the light, did a U-turn, came back to pull right in front of me in the van, right at me. And I was like getting my change, and I look up and he's like, he starts yelling at me. And that's what I do. I just go, and he starts talking, and every time I just go, and I'm fucking loud, dude. My sunroof's open, my window, I'm just, you know, and I'm just like, and he just closed his mouth, backed up, and took off. I was, go away, you little fucking pipsqueak. Why don't you come back when your balls drop and you learn how to fucking pay attention and look both ways in traffic and don't be a D-bag. So that just goes to show, you know, hey, this is my energy. This is my natural energy all the time. So you got these little scared little birds that are like, I'm going to be a man today. All right. How's that gonna unfold? You gonna hit a woman? Heard a story today about how a freaking girl in her relationship, the cherry's been popped now. Old boy beat her ass. Her boyfriend beat her ass, and she's still with him. So now he knows. Now he knows. See, there's a thing that I was told about a long time ago called the power of the pussy. Like, the woman always has the power in the ultimately they do, unless they're the rapist or whatever. But that was an ex-girlfriend of mine. I was like, where do people come up with this shit? Where is this so weird? Like the storylines, like, you know, like the power of. Anyway, so like how women wear the pants in the relationship and. You know, stuff like, all relationships are mirror images of each other. So like the bad girl that likes the bad boy, she's the bad girl. She just wants an equal counterpart. She just looks like she's just playing a role. Go find a place to be. Go lay down. Good girl, you pissy old lady. So, what was I talking about? Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hailk empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. And the aggressive... It is out and about. I got chewed out by a Pisces the other day. All fired up. I'm like, oh, that's cute. You're telling me, aren't ya? Give it to me good. That's what I did do in a vid the other day with Mom. I said, look, Ma, this is what I'd probably look like if I was born here, Ma. If you would have stayed your whole life here and never been adopted and gone that way, I would have ended up like this. With my one tooth. And freaking wasted all the time. And you want to talk about drunken Indians? They're everywhere. Just people are so mad and sad and hurt and stuff. They just make bad choices. If they made better choices, they wouldn't be beating up on their spouses and stuff like that. So she's a little bit older than the dude, and she always had the control and the power and stuff like that. And then the other day, I guess he just said, you know what, enough is enough, because he's feeling that Aries energy. And that's what, around here, that's what men do. They put women in their place in New Mexico. Everybody drinks. Well, not everybody. The more people drink here than don't. That is a fair assessment, based on how popular the liquor stores and stuff are, and like their liquor sales. Yeah. And like every store you go to, it's like that in every city. It's like that in every town. They open up at 6 or 7. You got those people that are right there at the door with their pocket full of change. Just give me that little freaking pint of the cheapest vodka just so they can get the shakes off and stuff like that. I know what I used to be like that. I used to be like, maybe I'll stop drinking one day, but for today I'm an adult, so I can just do what I want. And I would drink in an excess. And I hear stories about how other young people, they're like, because I just drink like Bud Light. I drink freaking frat boy beer. I drink a lot of it because it's like water. I drink a lot of it. There's a year and a half there, I drank like at least a 12-pack every day. And then, sometimes you go hard. You have your tequila nights or your Jack and Coke nights, or you have your, but that now people are just straight up boozing it. There's this girl that came across my reels. I really don't know. I hit the little button that says I want to see less like this, because I don't know where they get their algorithm. Like, what in the last, since I've had my Facebook account, gives you the impression that I want to see anything like this? Her name's like Tara Lee or Tara Lynn, and she's a young girl and lives in Sin City, just doing all that stuff, living that go fast lifestyle. And she tells stories about like her friend and old business dudes and sex parties and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I never, that's never where my head's, that was never fun. Like, let's get a bunch of people and just fuck. That was never anything that I ever thought that I cared to ever want to do, and I still don't in my life. It is so weird and creepy, the way people pass themselves around. I think it's a trip how, I don't have kids. Thank goodness I don't have kids. I'd be one of those, like, no, you're not wearing shorts that short. Why would you want to? When they're so short and then they ride up, they're like tired. They're higher than the freaking. Why is that who is that who are you trying to? Oh, you're being attractive for it, so you're making that's what you have to. Where did you learn to dress like that, where that is what makes you feel good about yourself? Letting everything all hang out. Like, what's sacred? What is sacred anymore? Relationships aren't really sacred anymore. I mean, all over social media, you see people's, look at, this is how it live. Look, we're in love, blah, you know. I don't think I would ever even post somebody that I dated on social media, because, like, when the memories come up, I'm like, I don't want to be reminded. That's why it's in the past. But I had a weird thing happen today. I went down like a Mandela effect, and it was really tripping me out. Back in 2011, 2011, I started dating a woman. We started a relationship. We had been friends for like 6 years, and then things had changed. I'd played planets aligned, whatever, and we thought that we tried dating. So we did. And soon after we started dating, she started going to graduate school. She wanted her master's degree in business. So she started this online school called Ashley University. And this whole thing is such a trip. She had gone through the course. She had gotten, like, I don't know, graduated with honors, or was on some sort of National Honor Society thing through her course. And so you could just, like, watch, like, you know, the awards being handed out online, or you could go and, you know, go out there and get your award if you lived in the local area, and eat some cake afterward and celebrate. So she was like, hey, let's go for a drive. And I was like, well, I'm kind of coming down with something. All right, let's do this. Okay, road trip. So we take off, and I had quit smoking, and she was still smoking. So it was pouring down rain, and she kept smoking. And I was starting to get sick, and I was getting crabby and wondering, why are you smoking when you know I'm getting, that's just mean. People don't think about, I think about other people. If even when I was a smoker in my car, if I was around somebody that wasn't a smoker, I wasn't going to smoke around them. Anyway. So we drove all the way out to, I can't remember where it was called. That's the thing. I remember, like, the restaurant that we went to on the river, Mississippi River. And we went to the awards ceremony. We drove out there. It was like 5.5 hours from, because it was all the way to the Iowa, Illinois border. And we go all the way out there, and that whole ceremony, like, we sat there, and, like, they handed out the awards and stuff like that. The whole thing, like, from start to finish, to putting my plate that I ate cake off of in the trash, 45 minutes, less than an hour. And this campus was just like, it was just this little small, and I've probably been on more college campuses than the average person. I've been on a lot of college campuses. And so I paid attention to a lot of different things, and this one was just very small, yet it had this ginormous online presence. And I was trying to figure out, like, for the online presence, where are the servers for that? Like, are they here? I was trying to get all this information and stuff. I was trying to talk to the IT guy. I was looking it up today because I was trying to find where it was, and I was looking at the website. I was looking all over the web, and I could not find on their website any place where it was. Like, there's no mailing address, there's email addresses, and I could send, you know, an email asking. I just think that's really peculiar as a human computer interface standpoint. Like, how bizarre to not, like, does it exist anymore? It has a YouTube channel that hasn't been active since 2012, so maybe it's one of those that they close up shop. Do people lose their degree if the university just decides to close? Like, no, because it existed at that time. It's so weird how all this stuff happens. It's just goofy. So I couldn't find it anywhere. And like their social media links, the one for the Facebook page was linked to Ashley Furniture, which is out of Wisconsin, Minnesota. One of those. It's just like, what is going on with it? There's just so much information out there that it's crossed. It's just foobar. And people are getting so staticky, they're getting foobar too. So technology in people, technology in computers, technology in car. Dude, it is so... I keep seeing all this stuff for electric vehicles. People are going to learn their lesson. They're gonna, man. They suck in cold, wetter climates. Batteries don't hold a charge, man. They drain quicker when the temperatures are cold. People are doing things because other people are doing it, not because it has any kind of practicality at all. Everybody's talking about the spirit. I think World War III is of the spiritual variety, personally. I think it's like, how are you going to live your life? Are you going to be a scumbag like fucking the majority of the percentage of the population? Because there ain't more people on the planet right now that are really rad. There's a lot of selfish withholding. I was talking to my Earth Angel, and I was like, because I don't really get I didn't get the whole narcissist thing until like I was in my late 30s. So that word has only been on my radar for a little while. I just figure that there's assholes and then there's cool people. And sometimes there's cool people that are assholes, and sometimes there's assholes that sometimes they're cool. But it's like, what are people putting their heart most of the time? What are they doing most of the time? You know? Most of the time, I'm pretty cool. Sometimes I'm an asshole. I just match like energy. That's all. That's all I do. So, where people are choosing to come from in life, and I get to ask myself this every day when I go out in the world. I saw Batman. We had a disagreement the other day. Yeah, he thought he was cool, and I thought he was an asshole. No, he was gonna hang out with Mom when I go on my doctor trip, and as we're going up the hill, he's telling me, because he helped me get my minivan back from the shop, and it turned into a big old fiasco, and it just was like, the whole thing was just really it's awkward. Like, it didn't feel good. And so I'm taking him home, and I said, well, what do you want me to do for you? You want me to buy you a bag of dog food? You want me to give you money? What do you want in exchange? He's like, I don't do it for you, Marge. See, it's not even, you know why I don't like my name? I don't like my name. Margie, Margaret. I don't like it. I'm named after two people that I didn't even really know. Mom was adopted and one was her adopted. So it's just like, I feel like I never felt like I'm not like them. People like name people, because you respect them, honor them. It wasn't like that. It was just you couldn't come up with the name, so let's call her name's Margaret. Okay, we'll cover both sides of the family, right? But I mean, I was never anyway, Margaret. And people throughout my life have used my name to try to belittle me. And that's what this guy, and I've heard it so many times. I'm like, oh God, I'm dealing with one of those. So I'm dealing with a 5-year-old, basically. A 9-year-old, basically. You know, so we're going up the hill, and I'm like, I said, so what do you want me, you know? He's like, I'm not doing it for you, Marge. People say it with like this drag, Marge, you know? And at one point he's like, are you stupid, Marge? And I was like, what? No, I'm not. I'm not. I've been tested. You know? You see, people, I was told recently that it's because people are jealous. Well, I'm not jealous of other people, so I don't understand that thought process. Just like that, the narcissist, just like the person that's the narcissist that does that gaslighting and all that stuff. And to me, it's just, oh, this is an asshole trying to rewrite history with his words by saying things like, that never happened. I was surrounded. Mom used to be one of those when I was a little girl. My brother's one now. I don't think my dad is, because I just don't think I don't know. He's just never talked. He just doesn't, he pleads the fifth on everything, I think. He's like, no, he's getting a little bit more loose lip in his older age. But all this narcissist stuff, like I mean, even in my drinking days, my fifth step was very uneventful. It was very boring. So much that my sponsor at the time fell asleep during it. So, anyway. So I get up the hill, you know, and he's like, I don't do it for you. I do it for God, Marge. I do this stuff to live in service. And so I take him all the way to his house. After we go up the hill, and he starts like going like with the stupid stuff and stuff like that. And I just put I said, stop, just stop. That's the second time I've had to do that. The last time I said, now you're just repeating yourself, putting the words in different orders, and I don't want to hear it. I get what you said. You don't need to keep, I get it. And then this time I was just like, stop. So we get all the way to his house, and then I said right here, and he said no. So I kept going, and he's like, and he said it again, are you stupid? I asked if it was right here, you just said no. Like, I'm just like into disbelief. Like, I think he got himself so stirred up on the ride home, because he was having a whole conversation with me in his head, and I wasn't participating. I was just beep, boop, 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 driving this guy home. I'm not going to let this guy wreck my day. I'm not going to let him upset me. I'm not going to give over my serenities to this fucking dude, you know? And so he just gets out of my Suburban. He just starts getting out. I was like, all right. Because I started to back up, so I put it in reverse. And he's like, are you trying to hurt me, Marge? I said, no. And then I put it in drive. I said, I'm trying to leave, so close my door. And he didn't. He like grabbed his 2 little water jugs and like started walking. And I was like, what a fucking douche. So I pull forward, and I'm trying to stop and go. So like trying to get it to close by itself. And I was just like, this is stupid. So I pulled off the side of the road. I got out, went to the other side, closed the door. You know, oh no, and that's what happened is I forgot about that part. As he's getting out, the first thing he says, in order for me to sit with your mom, you're gonna have to give me $200 up front. And I said, suck a dick, Batman. And I was like, fuck you, Batman. You know, I mean, you know, I don't understand how people, that's Pisces men. That's to me, like whenever I hear somebody's like a dude that's a Pisces, I'm like, all right. because they got more feminine energy. Every single one I've ever met. I'm not, maybe they don't all. I'll keep looking. I've been looking my whole life. I'm always looking for information and data to contradict my beliefs to help me possibly believe something different. Same goes in people too. Whenever I meet a human being, I'm like, this person could be, we could like laugh, have a good time, be the best of friends, or they could be like a nemesis. But you got to spend time with people in order to find out, because people are just brrr. They're losing it, man. They're fucking losing it. So he even left one of his water jugs in the Suburban. I was going to leave it at a spot that I know that he hitchhikes from. And I was like, no, so I took it to his daughters. Said, here, this is your dad left it in my Suburban, and we didn't see eye to eye, so I don't plan on seeing him. So, I know it's important. He uses it to get water for his dog, so I just want to make sure he gets that back. So, people try to paint me as a they always have. I see that in movies where characters like, I'm always the bad guy. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know what that's like. I know what that feels like. I'll be the bad guy in anybody's story. Absolutely. I'm willing and ready to take on that role. Absolutely. I ruffled feathers on the page because the mayor said that he was putting flags at half-mast for a week for first responders and stuff like that in Taos County, and I'm like, why? They're like cleanup crew, if anything. Like, they don't, I mean, it's people think the legal system is crappy in, like, other parts of the country. I mean, they call New Mexico the land of entrapment because it's all about paying off people. And I saw an article the other day where that dude that was on that movie Blindsided, where they thought that those people adopted him, and it was just a conservatorship. They fucking screwed old boy, and so he got it. It ended, and the judge. This is so funny. And I read like 3 different articles because it kept coming up on my feed. So I'm like, let's see what the word usage is here that they're using. And the woman kept saying in all the articles, the judge, in my 43 years, I've never seen anything like this. And I'm thinking, it's been all around you. It's been in your face. You just must not be a very good judge if you're not paying attention. Because if you don't know what kind of people your peers are and what they're up to and their shady businesses and bullshit for people's own good, that's a little too self-serving, I think. Every job I've ever had, it has taken me no time to size up everyone I'm dealing with. Everyone. Who the perverts are. And once I recognize who the perverts and the creeps are, I'm just like, they're everywhere, dude. They're everywhere. I'm glad I'm a prude. I am. I'm glad to be a prude. I'm a self-proclaimed prude. Haven't been on a date in 7 years. I'm prudy. Even if I met a girl that I liked, wouldn't even freaking hold her hand or nothing for 3 months, quarter of a year. Yeah. 'Cause it saves you a lot of freaking hassle. Then you're hanging out with them because you like hanging out with them, not because you want to freaking chase sensations. I look at sex and all that stuff as just like tools of manipulation. Do people think that does that? I mean, if you don't think that stuff happens, and I mean, there's somebody that likes to withhold in a lot of situations. There's the withholder, and they like to use it for power and control. And it's not gender specific, it's just a vibrational frequency. And it happens to be a vibrational frequency that the women that I dated, you know, it was all, and I was just also happy to make it about them. I didn't have a problem with it because as long as you like me, I'll be that dumb girl that just does whatever you want me to do whenever you want me to do it. It's not like that now because we live to learn. People throw their self-respect away for other people all the time, and it wears at you, it eats at you. It ain't good to do. Hey, Jessica. How are you? No, you don't wish you. Okay, maybe you do. I'm not telling you. Yeah, you do. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jessica. I got craving. I mean, we're coming up in Scorpio season. This is the season that I got my DUIs. No, one was the one in Offutt. That one was Scorpio season. It was 11/11. I was supposed to be in a Veterans Day parade Saturday morning, and I was so stupid. Anyway, that I even acted like that. That I had so little regard for life that I drank and drove. That's why I got DUI. So that one was, and then the first one back in '96, that was for chivalry. That was February 22nd. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I remember looking at that date on the piece of paper. But anyway, I don't do that anymore because I don't know. I just Jessica, you got a lot of stuff to offer in this world. You're I know you're Gemini, and the people I think that are all, it's all love and light. It's all love and light. They're gonna need us to help translate this next part of what the world is, because people are not ready for what's coming. I'm not ready for what's coming. I don't know what's coming. I see pictures of trajectory of how timelines can go based on people's personalities and stuff, and their freedom choice, and I'm just seeing more and more people with less regard for life. And when people don't care about human life, it don't make it cool. It's just, and there's a lot of hurt people, a lot of people that feel like they're justified in their outlandish behavior. And I see this on reels, like these guys that like cheat on their wives and stuff, and they're talking to their wife like she's a piece of shit. And it's just so bizarre how people turn the table. I guess that's that gaslighting shit, like they're not wrong at any cost. Like, that girl that I was talking about earlier that I dated, she said, I'll go down with the ship. I will just lie and lie and lie and lie. And people lie. They just lie and lie and lie. They just say stuff. It doesn't just make stuff up and say it. And then that's, you're trying to base somebody else's experience with you based on something that's not even true. So you guys people aren't even having real experiences with one another. Just versions, aspects. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Artie, it's time for his pills. So, and Mom, you're kind of hungry now? Yeah? Ready for some rice and chili? Just rice? All right, that's what I got for now. Hope you